Among women empowering women is Jeannie Javelosa, who launched an advocacy company to uplift women-led enterprises. Jeannie tells us more about great women and her sustainable lifestyle brand, Echostore. Jeannie, happy Women's Month. Great to see you after so many years.
I know, like 41. No, that's not give our age away. Gosh, we had totally black hair then, right,
yes,
Rico?
That's right. That's right. Well, you have black hair. I have more salt and pepper. So tell us, Jeannie, why did you set up Great Women?
Well, it started with Echostore. Echo meaning Environment Community Hope Organization with two other business partners, Chitwan and Rina Francisco. And this was like, I won't say how many years ago, but we were the pioneers in the green space. And everybody thought we were not going to succeed. As three women working on the angle of green as a first retail store. And we were working, we realized all the people buying from us, 86% were women, mostly mothers with young children, and then most of our supply chain were women. So as we kept trying to sell and bring the products of small entrepreneurs and micro-entrepreneurs to market, we realized, wait, everybody here is a woman. We are all women and we're women-led. And Canada at that point had a program here which was called Great. It was actually a program specific for helping policy creation in the local government. And when they came to us and said to us, everybody was just looking for a market, and Echostore was the market. So we said, okay, let's see what we can do about it. And I told Rina, Rina, we can't just sell these products because they're not green, but they're women-owned. So we need to create another brand. So Canada and the Philippine Commission for Women told us, go ahead and take on the brand. And so we created a brand called Great Women.
And
that's how it began.
How are you then expanding market access for women?
Well, it began with Echostore, basically. But then as it kept going on, we realized it was about integrating supply chains for food, for coffee, and I took on textiles.
And where are these supply chains coming from? Are they across the archipelago?
All over the world, not the world, okay, not all the world. But, you know, it's all over the country, from the north to the south. And so we have coffee supply chain, we have green food, we had textiles under Great Women. When we focused, it was very clear the women were doing coffee picking. Chit is our coffee expert, Chitwan. And so she focused on coffee. Rina was the one overseeing all the products going to the store. And I took on textiles. And Great Women became textiles in a way for the supply chain to be integrated. No? So we were really working with small micro-entrepreneurs. And how do we help bring them to market? That's how it began.
And how successful has Great Women been in amplifying messages of empowerment, diversity, and inclusion?
Well, one thing is the phrase Great Women is great. Everybody wants to be great.
Yes.
Everyone will be aligned to being great. And so the USAID, sometime in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, wanted to bring us out into the region for ASEAN because they realized it's the only gender platform then in the country. And so we were introduced into ASEAN and we became Great Women in ASEAN. And so we have a whole network in the 10 countries of ASEAN to be able to see how can we now bring forward issues which are women needs, financial literacy, market access, technology, development, programs that can help support the direction of gender empowerment, issues that can, there are issues of sexual harassment and safe spaces, but we try to keep away from that because we said, let us focus on the economic empowerment. And that's what Great Women has focused on.
And Great Women is also now in a book which you have written, Feminine Rising.
It's just my story.
What's in that book?
It's our story of Echostore and Great Women and how it has moved out beyond the borders into the region and how it can look at empowerment. You know, when we began Great Women, the whole issue of how can we collaborate together, because you can't be great if you don't help another woman, right? You really can't if you're just so selfish.
But
so help women.
Are we now seeing, Jeannie, more Filipino women saying, I am empowered and I want to take charge?
I want to say yes. However, when you really look at it on the ground, micro-entrepreneurs, half of in the country are micros. I mean, 99% of the businesses are micro, and half of them are women.
And women also who have families.
And they have families.
They
and
need
the
that
issues
work-life
are
balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Dividing their time between being a wife, a mother, right, and an entrepreneur.
Exactly. Just too many issues, right? That you cannot just say what's happening with the men can be for the women. No,
Yes.
we don't believe that. For us who stand in this space, no? And people say, but yeah, if you're successful, then everybody is equal. But not in spaces where you do have poverty. In issues where you cannot own your own land until you get your husband's rights to be able to sign off. In issues where big corporations, often in industries that are not friendly to women, like have a lot of
Still
sexual...
a lot of hurdles and challenges that our marginalized women have to face.
Exactly. Even if we are 19th, in the Philippines, we are 19th in the global gender gap. And in 2020, we were the 19th, which is not bad. And we're top in ASEAN. And yet, in the country, we have so much issues where there's so many strong women. We are a matriarchal society, and you know that, right? And Asia knows that. But there are programs which we brought out as first movers. The Magna Carta of Women was the first in Asia. And yet, there's no teeth. Right?
There's no political will.
There's no political will, there's no teeth enough to do it. For example, when I say to do it, to move it into programs that can have clear indicators of success and data that we can come back and say, hey, correct, women are actually getting empowered, economically empowered. It's not enough. For example, GEWE, which is our Gender Equality Women's Empowerment, was supposed to be the platform from which the GAD budget would be used and policies created. The GAD budget is 10% of our government funds of different agencies, which everybody must use for women programs. Yeah, basketball courts, T-shirts being put together. I mean, hello, is that something we want to do for women, right? And this is one of the stands that we do as, I'm part of the Philippine Women's Economic Network, PhilWen. It's the umbrella organization that whose membership are organizations looking at all the different levels of women. Micro, startups, business and professional, women CEOs, women in corporate directors. So we're all in that space. And each has a different issue. Each has a different issue.
Well, Jeannie Javelosa, chairman of the Women's Commission.
No, I don't think I'm going to work that way. You know why? I fight everyone.
And have to go through the bureaucracy.
Exactly.
What is your message for our Filipino women who are watching us right now, who want to be empowered and who want to take control of their lives?
You know, the ceiling is in their own brains. You have your own ceiling you create for yourself. And it's only you who can break that. Now, the power of women is in groups. You find another woman to move something that you want to do. Collaborations with women, cooperations with women are so crucial. Finding the men who support the women in this space is as crucial. You know, when I wrote Feminine Rising, it is not just about the women empowering itself, but it's also the men understanding their feminine space. And in so doing, create a world that is more equitable, that looks at the environment, that looks at sentient beings that are animals. That's very feminine.
There has to be synergies between men and women and a collaboration.
It must be balanced.
It must be balanced. Jeannie, thank you so much for joining us in the Final Word and being an inspiration to all women.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Jeannie Javelosa, co-founder of Great Women and Echostore.